Barbara Ehrenreich, a woman with an education, who rose from a blue-collar town and became a well-established writer. But instead of enjoying the prosperity of 1998, she was serving in Florida, scrubbing in Maine, and selling in Minnesota. She left her comfortable lifestyle in her Florida home to find out how life would fare without luxuries like healthcare and a comfortable bed. She traveled around the country taking various low-wage jobs, but could she live on them? In Key West, Florida, she took a job as a waitress, meeting people like George, a Czechoslovakian immigrant who knew little to no English. He worked 2 jobs and shared a dingy apartment with multiple others. He was soon accused of stealing from the supply room and was fired. George, however, did not understand why due to his difficulty in understanding the language. After attempting to juggle 2 jobs, Barbara traveled to Maine for its predominantly white population. Here, she took a job at the Maids, where her boss Ted believed he was already providing so much as it was due to the mother's hours. Raising wages from $6.50 would be bizarre. She went from house to house, experiencing the back-breaking work a maid had to endure. They were cleaning homes like this, and went home to this. Barbara abruptly leaves her job at the Maids and moves to Minneapolis, where she struggles to find a home. She stays at a friend's apartment for a while before having to leave for a motel, many of which either required $2.90 a week or $60 a day. This took most of the money she had at her job at Walmart, which only gave her $7 an hour. It made it harder to know that for the first week, as she learned before, her check was withheld to ensure she stayed with the job. She meets a woman named Caroline, who went through much of what Ehrenreich experienced, but with 2 children in tow. After having to contact helplines for food and finding she lacked the money for needed gasoline, she packs her things and goes home, ending her journey as a low-wage worker, something she had the privilege to do. Barbara Ehrenreich uses a reflective tone throughout her book. She is factual and straightforward as she describes attempts to meet the expenses needed to live in the populous cities to which she travels. She provides footnotes with factual and current information to support her observations. Ehrenreich is also sympathetic toward the many people that suffer under the pressures of minimum wage. She includes 4 chapters and an introduction to how she came about this project. She takes the reader through her journey, starting a new chapter as she moves to a new state. This emphasizes the complete change that every city or state provides. She describes her first experience in Florida, where she gathers in the break room for a meeting with all the employees. But there is no quote-unquote "we" at this meeting. Philip, our top manager, except for an occasional quote-unquote consultant sent out by corporate headquarters, opens it with a sneer. This windowless little room, which also houses a time clock for the entire hotel, is where we stash our bags and civilian clothes and take our half-hour meal breaks. She has a sarcastic use of quotation marks in the words consultant and we, showing the absurdity, uselessness, and irrationality of the manner in which they interact with the employees. She also emphasizes the disrespect the employees are given. Ehrenreich uses vivid imagery in describing their break room, calling it a windowless little room. She specifies the short, strict time they are given for themselves and uses the term civilian clothes, implying they are somewhat of a military force, as though they worked in do-or-die circumstances. She uses a euphemism when describing the situation in the nursing home where she works for patients with Alzheimer's in Maine. Ehrenreich says, the idea is to get them eating fast before they collapse into their plates from low blood sugar. Page 62. Rather than saying before they die, she uses a different, more gentle approach and says before they collapse into their plates from low blood sugar. In Minnesota, she discusses a routine she picks up while staying at a motel, which she deems very insecure. She says, I sleep and wake up again, listen to the cars coming and going, watch the silhouettes moving past my window. Page 153. With this sentence, she emphasizes the constant fear that this low-paying class must endure due to the many threats that surround their poor living spaces. She uses repetition to illustrate that not only are her mornings tiring and tedious with her routine job, but so are her nights, a supposed time of rest and relaxation. Ehrenreich's target audience includes the richer working class, those who have the power to change the difficult lives of minimum wage workers for the better. This veteran muckraker wrote to show the difficulties people had to face financially and emotionally because a rich man only wanted to get richer.
Remember Voltaire, the comfort of the rich depends upon an abundance of the poor. It's a law of economics as old as supply and demand.